Hello? Am I sideways? Oh my goodness, I don't know. Yeah, apparently I started this way. And this is not how I really wanted to go live, but I guess I will. Unless I start a new one. So let me see what we're gonna do. Hold on a second. I can hear myself. So I don't want to do that. All right, so I got this new little mic to see if it'll make the sound better. So y'all have to let me know if it is sounding good or not. I know I'm still waiting to see if anyone's going to join, but let's see. Today, what we are going to be doing is I just bought some of these really fancy watercolor paints, and they're called My Merry Blue, and they're made in Italy. They have about like 90 colors that you can pick from. But when I went on Amazon, they had this little starter set that has 5 different colors in them. So I really like the diversity of the set, and it also has a Payne's Gray, which is really cool. So I like that. And I don't know, there's some really cool colors in here. So um, green gold. This is one I want to try and see what it looks like on paper. Also, another one that sounds really interesting to me is Quinacridone Lake, which is like a red color, pinkish red, probably. I make really good roses with this and flowers. So maybe Marianne will check that out. I know you were curious to find out if these colors would be good or not. Also, in my last video, I talked a little bit about my little paintbrush holder. My friend Dolly made these. She made this one for me, and it even comes with a little cup holder so you can put it in the cup. See, pretty cool. So I really like these homemade ones. I have some that aren't homemade, and I just prefer this one that Dolly made. Plus, I love turtles, and this one is so pretty. It has turtles on it. And you can just find whatever you need. There's different sized little holders for each paintbrush, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, let me see if I can put my camera overhead so maybe you can see. Let me see if I can turn the camera around. And this is probably going to be not the right direction. I'm going to look and see. All right. Well, we're going to have to make do with this not being landscape. I don't even know how to change it. Once you go live, that's what it is. Anyways, so I have this, and basically I'll just reorganize it all this direction. Paint sideways, I guess. So this is a little palette that I found at Tuesday Morning, and it has 16 different wells. And what I wanted to do was kind of lay these ones in here, and this is going to be my May Mary Blue palette. So all the colors and paints that are in this will be my May Mary Blue, as opposed to this one that I have, which is kind of a mixture of Winsor Newton and the cheap pan set that it already came with, so that I haven't replaced any of those colors yet. So like original. I have replaced some of the blues, the green, a little bit of the red, Payne's gray, of course, things like that. So it really, this is what I've been using to paint all my commissions and all my even my practice ones and for my classes. What I wanted to do was start with a brand new palette and make this be uh, my commission paints. So these are much better to use for like fastness and for longevity and just making it a more archival type painting so it'll last. I've researched a little bit about this brand, and some of the things that were said about it was that it's a very high quality pigment. I think on their website they say that each color is a single pigment. I don't know how that relates to different brands, because what I have in here are my other tubes. I want to show you comparison. So this is really cool to show you comparison. So basically, this one is Winsor and Newton Professional. And look at the size difference. And so this set of 5 paints from My Mary Blue was $35 on Amazon. I think you can get it cheaper at Blick. But this one, I took the price tag off of it, but these run you about $7-8. So maybe the price is comparable. This one is a lesser quality one from Winsor Newton Cotman watercolors. And you'll see this one's a little bit more paint. This is kind of your student grade. This is your professional grade. So I do have a variety of different paints that I've used and that I've been trying to switch over. So here we have, this is the yellow ochre. Is that it? Ochre. And these are just different ones that I like to use. Again, I just use these in my old palette, but what I wanted to do was set up a new one. And for today, we're going to be looking at how I set up this palette. And so frankly, I've never set up a brand new palette all on my own. And I was kind of researching how some people set up theirs. There's 3 different main ways of setting up your palette. And probably the most common way is the color wheel. So basically, you would start with your yellows and you would move over to your oranges, kind of like this. So yellow, orange, red, green, blue, purple, and then your neutrals, which is grays and browns and blacks. And so I don't ever have a white. If I use white, I use it, an acrylic white. So I don't use different, I don't use the watercolor white. I use like a gouache or an acrylic type paint. So what I did first is I washed out this in case there was any residue from the manufacturer in there, any kind of plastic sprays or something. So I rinsed this real good, dried it out. I think what I want to start with, how I'm going to do mine. So I told you one way was color wheel, another way is warms and cools. So you kind of see a dividing line here. You could put all your warms on this side, all your cools on this side. You can also just arrange them in order of how much you use them. So basically, if I use this one the most, I might put that somewhere, maybe central, so that I'll have better access to it. And then the ones that I don't use as much off to the side, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm going to definitely leave room to add colors because if I really like these, I'm going to add to my collection. And I'm not going to squeeze the whole tube out into my palette. I'm just going to make sure I have just some. So I'll keep these in with my box of stuff, and it should be fun to do that. Let's see. So the green gold, I'm very curious about how this is going to look. Oh, wow. Super green. I was thinking it was going to be more yellow. So that's where I'm going to put that one. And this one is ultramarine deep. So this is a pretty blue. I think I'm going to put it over here, maybe. That's how they're going. My Payne's Gray, I know I'm going to be using this a lot. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put it in this tube right here. That's pretty much going to be good where I want it. I'm already getting paint all over me. Now this one is cadmium yellow deep. Now I don't know. I've heard that this brand has a lot of really less toxic chemicals and things like that. But you still know that cadmium, which is a metal, will do not let your cats drink your paint water after you get this. There's also the green gold has a warning label. It says copper, so harmful if swallowed. So don't let your cats or your dogs or whatever little humans in the house, don't let them drink any of the water if you um, rinse your paintbrush and have it nearby. I don't think there was any other warnings, just those two colors. So most of the colors in this setup, I think, are safe. So, but cadmium, definitely you need to be careful. I'm gonna put, where do I want to put some of my yellows? Maybe over here. Look at that color. Now that's another thing about this brand that I've heard is that they're very vibrant. And so already just right out of the tube, I am seeing that completely. And so I'm going to use this red and probably put it over here. It is kind of a pinky red, so we'll see if I like it as far as things like that go. So right now I have my little paints next to where I put them. And as you can see, I can start adding other colors if I really like this. And I love the big wells right here, and of course the lid. I can mix so much in there. So let's get started with figuring out which one of these I want to try first. And I'm really curious about this one. It's almost like baby poop. Yep. But it's interesting because all by itself. So we're going to do some swatches just because I want to be able to do that. So basically, what I'm going to do is start pretty thick. Let's see. So that's pretty good. And then as I water it down, look at how that turned real yellow. And look how it looks straight out of the tube. Pretty crazy. And I could probably even make that thicker. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like it. Very intense. Let's see if we can get a new one. I always have two containers of water. One to do the first rinsing off in, and the second one is to really get that clear water back into place. Also, another thing I like to start is if you're painting lights to darks. So that way you'll you'll have, wow, look at that. So amazing. Okay, we're gonna leave a little space. I think I should have room. Yeah, I'll have room. Look at how thick that is, and it covers really well. So I'm just gonna rinse off a little bit and spread it out. See how that looks. Look at that. Barely need any to spread it out. That's really nice. I'm gonna rinse in there again. So now it's totally clean. What else do I want to start with next? Probably the red one. Do the red one next. Ooh, it's not really red. Look at that. This is one where I'll probably have to buy a cadmium red if they sell it, just to have a more true red color, because this is like pinky, which I was saying would be good for flowers. Let's see. Wow, look at that. So pretty. That's really nice. I like it. And now I'm just gonna pick it out. And look at how it's changing as it gets thinner. That's really cool. Look how it's almost like purple over here. Like that. And this one looks like it's granulating. That one looks like it's granulating too. And it just means that the pigment's settling with the water. So the pigment's thick, heavier. It just kind of sinks to the bottom of the page and ends up going in all the little nooks and crannies in the watercolor paper. Let's see. So I'm looking at the transparency of these, and it's really nice. I'm liking that. I'm just like pretty happy so far with this. Let's see, ultramarine deep. See how that looks. Because sometimes right out of the tube, it doesn't look like what it's going to look like on paper. That's why it's always important to make a color swatch, and you get a better idea of what you're making. The color, like especially if I start mixing all these colors together, it's going to be really fun. So I'm going to start with the blue right here. And there's actually another artist on the YouTube channels, Jenna Rainey, I think that's how you say her name. She's pretty awesome. She has like some master classes for people to take. But I believe she did a whole video of this brand of paint, and she tried every single color, like I think 90 colors she tried, maybe 86 or something like that, she said. Um, but yeah, she tried them all, and you could go see her video. Maybe I'll find a link to it and I'll do that. Let me just do this a little thicker. I like to make it darker on this side and kind of spread out. Look at that. That one's really granulating too. Pretty. Last one. Last one is my Payne's Gray, which I'm always loving Payne's Gray. So, ooh, that is really pretty. I like this. That, I like it. All right, so I know there was a lady in one of my classes. She had this huge palette of hand paints that I forget what they're called, but um, they're really nice and they're very vibrant. And for us to mix colors, it kind of takes more water to tone them down. But you can see with this, it's not too bad to tone them down with water. Um, it looks like it's doing pretty good at getting transparent pretty quickly. 'Cause you need to be able to have that paper shine through and still have like a luminosity to it. So I like that. Very, very pretty. I like that. Looking good. So that's our different ones, and I might label them. So we can do when it dries. I'm gonna wait for that to dry so I don't stick my hand in it. So those can go over there now. Now that I know what each one is, we will do a quick little, maybe like a sunset or something. Well, let me see. I like to just wet one part of my paper. And I'm going to mix some of these. So let's see. That would be a real pretty sky. And then sometimes you want to just go in and add clouds. And you can get real thick too if you want. Hmm. Might take some time getting used to this. I don't know. And then what I like to do while the top's drying is get some grass going in the bottom. And this one I wetted first, and this one I just let the paper stay dry. I kind of that because it gives you more control. It's kind of a pretty color. I just mixed it with a little bit of the Payne's Gray and the Ultramarine Deep. No, it's pretty good. Um, Another thing about making skies that you might want to test out too is see, especially with the new kind of paint, how well it lifts up. Ooh, that lifts up really nice. No, that dark it on the side. I'll lift up all that. Now, if I wanted to, I could go in with a little bit of this, make it a little thicker. These two together are looking really pretty. Now, my my paper and I'm just looking at it. It's still real wet, so it may not get what I want to look like, but I'm going to try it and see how it works. Now see how that spreads really fast? So you can still get that soft look to a cloud. So far I'm liking this. Now what you can do is get a little dab of your, make it a little darker. Towards the bottom. Look how yellow that looks now as it's drying. That's probably something I'm going to have to look out for as I'm learning these colors. They'll probably dry a little different from when I first put them on the paper. So that's also something with anything. It's going to have a learning curve to it. So now I'm going to go in, maybe mix a little bit more of this green gold. And I add a little bit more blue. And so now what I might do is kind of like a little path. I didn't use too much water in this. And now my little path is there. And if I want, I can try and mix some kind of color to be more like a beachy kind of color. And you'll get better at this as you do it. Add some browns. Just like that, mixing in with it. Looks good. And you can even, if you want, just do that. Now let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to go back to, I don't know if I want mountains maybe in there. So probably add some kind of mountain, maybe a mountain range of some sort. Now, I like mixing all these colors together and see what we get. Not like a brownish purple. I'm just making this up in my head. Normally I don't do that. Normally I like to have a picture I go off of. I like just making stuff up sometimes. And just having fun. Nothing really serious about this painting. It's just testing. Just testing. But yeah, I did that. It did kind of touch in there and kind of bleed down into the grains, but that's okay. I don't mind how that's looking right now. And what I can end up doing is just adding some more onto this. And that's what I'm kind of testing too, to see how this all works. I like it. You know, how does it play with itself? Like, how does it blend in to the previous washes? How's it glaze? How's it do that? And with time, I'll learn all that. Right now, I'm just kind of experimenting. And that's what I tell people, just experiment and have fun. Some people worry about the cost of their supplies, if they're wasting them. One of my friends suggested using an egg carton, um, the kind of the plastic ones, not the cardboard ones, so that when you rinse your brush in each of the little colors, you're keeping all your colors separate, so you can use those as washes later. But um, all these together, 35 bucks. These are really big tubes. I think they're going to last me a long time. And if I want to grow as an artist, I can't think in a way that would be um, scarcity. I have to think in a way of abundance. So that might be for you thinking, um, changing the narrative on how you feel about your art. Like, is it worthy? Yeah, to me, it's worth spending the money on something like this to try it out and to see if I like it. And who knows, it may end up being my favorite paints. And I kind of like that they are bigger bottles or bigger tubes. I kind of like that. I think you could get more for your money. So look at that. I'm just kind of changing the color just ever so slightly. And I like that. That's looking really, really pretty. And look at how that's blending all by itself still on the paper. It's looking really good. Um, what else should we do? Should we do some little wisps of grass? Maybe? Kind of pretty. A little more blue. Like that. It's like giving it some shadow there. That's really pretty. I'm gonna like this painting, even though it's like totally being painted sideways. I think it's gonna look good. All right, now that these are dry, I'm gonna go and write the names of them, I think. So basically this one was that green gold. And then this one was called Bad Yellow Deep. And then this one is, I'm not going to be able to spell this one, I'm sorry. Quinacridone Lake. That's cute. All right, quinacridone. Then we got our ultramarine. Deep. Last but not least, Payne's Gray. I'm gonna have to figure out why it's called Payne's Gray. If it was like a guy's name or something. I don't know if anyone knows. Leave in a comment if you do. Anyways, I am enjoying these new paints, and I kind of like how I've set this up. So now if I get different blues, I can put them right here. Different yellows, different reds. If I get a burnt umber and a burnt sienna, or a raw umber, raw sienna, one of those, or both of those. I can probably put those there. Um, yeah, and maybe some lighter yellows. I don't know. I don't know if I'll need another yellow. This one's pretty good. And definitely would need a different red if I want to go more of a warm red. This is almost like a cool red. But this is a warm yellow. Definitely need to go check out the website and see what other colors I might get. And I guess that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't, please subscribe and like and hit the notification so you'll know when I go live. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. I know how to end this.